Hello all, welcome to part 8 of Hybrid TestNG Framework, which I am explaining as part of Selenium for training series. So in the previous session, we have integrated the extent reports and also I showed you how to take the screenshots only for the failed test using TestNG listeners. All these things are done in the previous session already. But what I'm going to do in this session or what I'm going to explain in this session, I'm going to do a lot of other stuff, guys. Okay. So I have to first reduce the lines of code. Okay. Whatever the code I have written for this test engine listeners and all, right. In that particular listeners class, my listeners class, I have to reduce the number of lines of code. There is a room for optimizing the code that I'm going to do first. And thereafter, I'm going to show you how to separate the screenshot code from the listeners class to another a reusable method in one of the other classes. I'll move the code to and still the script should work. Then I'll show you how to auto-line the extent reports. I don't have to right click, go to a particular folder, right click and open the extent report. Rather, after running the automation scripts, my extent report should automatically open for me. Okay, how to do that? Then we have I'll show how to run the test using Maven. Okay. So till now we are running the scripts using testng.xml file and all those stuff. So how to do that with Maven and all, I'm going to show you. Okay. So fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go to the Eclipse IDE and first I'll do the first thing, that is reducing the number of lines of code in the testng listeners class. That is, here we have created mylisteners.java. Okay, in the previous session. So in this mylisteners.java, let's see if I can reduce any code. Okay, let's see if I can reduce any code. So here what I can do is I can remove this test name. I can make it global and I can use it actually in the upcoming tests. Okay, that's one thing I can do. I can make it global, guys. This is one thing I can do. I can make it global. And here local declaration I'll remove. So I don't have to get the test name every time. On test start, we'll get the test name, right? So why to get the test name every time? That's what is the intention. So test name is passed here, that's fine. And here also, I don't have to get the test name again because already test name is there. Okay, test name is there. We can use the same test name, which is now global. And here also, I don't have to get the test name. It's global. That's fine. Then, so any other place I have to remove the test name. Yeah, this is the place. I don't have to write the test name. So I have removed the test name. Let me see with this change, is there any effect? Is there any problem? If the scripts are running fine, then we are good. I'll run the testng.xml file using run as testng suite or suite. So let's see if the scripts are running, then we are good. Okay. The change I have done is fine, working fine. I'm able to reduce the lines of code. Whatever the possible lines of code I wanted to change, I'm changing. See, the scripts are running fine. Let's see what will happen at the end. We should get a proper report and all the logs should be written into the extent report. Then we are good. Okay. Screenshot should be taken, embedded into the report. Everything should happen. Then only I can say that that change that I have done is working fine. Okay. Let me cross check. Let all the tests run one by one and we'll cross check. Okay. So which test is running? Let's see. Still login tests are running, guys. Let's see. Still login test. I think that was the last login test. Now search test should run, if I am correct. One of the second search test will fail intentionally. We are failing it, and third test which is depending on the second test will skip. As we already know, one will fail and one will skip from search. Remaining all 12 will pass. Now let's see our report got generated or not. Let's refresh here, and screenshot is taken. That's fine. That's working fine. Let's go to the test output folder. Here we have a report. I have to go to the extent reports folder and I have to right click on this report and open it manually, guys. You see, web browser. You see, we are getting the things, guys. We are getting proper results. That's fine. So let's see if you see screenshots are getting embedded and all those things are happening fine. Skipping is also coming. Everything is fine, guys. Okay. There's no problem in that. But only thing is that this report I have to open manually by right clicking on this extend report.html file. So what I will do now is I'll show you one method. Okay. I reduce the number of lines already. So it's not required. Okay. To reduce anymore. And even we can even reduce one more line also if you want. Okay. Instead of making this test name global, we can do one more thing also. There's another method. So where you have to, is it good or something? I'm just thinking. Yeah. Okay. Let me follow that method. Even one more line will also get reduced with that. So what I will do is I'll not store this into the test name. I'll directly write result.getName. Okay, then there is no need of storing into the variable. 2 lines. Within 2 lines, we are able to complete, and this global declaration is not required. In every test method, we'll do the same thing. Okay, here again, result.getName. Okay, wherever the test name is required, just write down result.getName. That's it. Okay. So on test start is completed. Here, result.getName. Okay, like this automatic. Okay. This is another better way to reduce the number of lines. Okay. Here guys. Okay. Result dot get name. Okay. Any other place we are getting errors. So let's see. Yeah, here result dot get name. Okay. Instead of test name, we are directly writing result dot get name. Okay. So this is another place. Result dot get name. Done. Now save this and see if there are any errors. No errors are there. That's fine. Okay. This is how we can reduce the number of lines by directly putting result dot get name. Now this will work. So other thing that I'm going to do is separating the screenshot code. Okay, I'll go to the on test failure method, and here we have the code written for separate for taking the screenshot. This is whatever that I'm highlighting here is the code for capturing the screenshot and copying that into the screenshots folder here and all those stuff. Okay, so I don't want to put this code here in this on test failure method. Rather, I want to move this code into some other place. I'll cut this code from here. That sorry, result dot get name. Where is the code? This is the code, right? I'll cut this code, Control X. Okay. So I'll move this code somewhere else. Okay. I'll call a method here. Okay. Whenever I want to take a screenshot, I'll call a method. That method I'll create under the utilities.java. Okay. Here we are in the my listeners now. I'm creating this user method of get screenshot method in the capture screenshot or whatever you can call that method. You can just create one method, guys. Public void capture screenshot. So to this method, I have to pass WebDriver and then string test name. Okay, I have to pass the test name. These two items I have to pass. And after that, here I'll write down file. I'll import this WebDriver. This driver I'm typecasting, get screenshot as and all those stuff. Here we can use the test name, guys. No problem. We can use the test name. Here we can use the test name. Done. Any other places I have to modify? Here destination screenshot path is there. This is the path. I have to return this path. Okay. I'll tell you why we have to return this path. Just return this path, guys. After the screen has been captured and put into the screenshots folder here, okay, then I have to return the path of the screenshot. Okay, I have to return the path of the screenshot. Okay, so that path will be received by, I'll be calling that method, guys. Okay, how to call this method inside this utilities dot capture screenshot. I have to say utilities dot capture dot sorry, it's not coming. Utilities dot you say first of all, hover the mouse and import this utilities from com.tutorialsninja.qa.utils package, this package. And now say utilities dot get, where is that screenshot method? Okay, capture. Okay, it's not coming actually. Yeah, it should be a static method, guys. Just create it as static, just put static keyword, then you can get it. Otherwise, you will not get it. Now you say dot, you will get this method. Okay. Now whatever the driver have retrieved right from this on test failure from the result like result.get test class and all those stuff. That driver I am passing here, and here I have to pass the test name. The test name is nothing but result.get name. Okay, that is nothing but the test name. Put a semicolon. And now this will return you the path where the screenshot has been captured. String, what is the path? Destination screenshot file path. Okay, screenshot path is equal to right like this. Okay, now everything is fine. Okay, we're just calling the method. I have moved the screenshot code into another method and optimize the code. Okay, so that's fine. What else is there now? I think this should be good. Then second change is also done, guys. Fine. Now third change I'm going to do after moving this code, third change is auto launching the extend report. Okay. So on finish here, I'll write this code, guys. Desktop dot, this from Java only. Write desktop dot, this from Java, AWT desktop. Okay. Get desktop. Then say dot browse, I guess. Browse, yeah. Dot browse. Okay. This line will automatically open. Okay. If you want to automatically open after the ending of the test in the project, running of the test in the project, okay, we can use this line, which will I want to automatically open this extend report, which is generated under the test output folder. Here, this is the place the extend report got generated. That report I want to open automatically. So I have to say here browse method needs, okay, simply say dot browse again. You see, there is URI here. It's not URL, it's URI. Okay, so here we have the path of this extend report, but here we have to give the URI. So what I will do here is I'll get, first of all, get the path of this HTML file which is getting generated. Okay, this created. How to get the path of this extend report? So I'll say string path of extend report is equal to system dot get property. I'll write this path, get property user dot dir plus, right, double backward slash under this project under test output folder. This folder is directly under the project, so I'll say test output, test hyphen out output folder, double backward slash extend reports, double backward slash. The name of the report is, just make sure of the spelling, and you see, if it is lowercase, just provide lowercase, otherwise uppercase, let us you provide the name. Okay, that's it, guys. Put a semicolon here. That's it. We are able to give the path of the extend report. Okay, and just give this. But here, if you give this, we have to do something like this. We have to say file extend report is equal to new file. We have to write and give the path of the extend report here in this file constructor. And now this extend report file dot to URI we have to write. Then it will be okay. Now there is a checked exception coming. It's asking you to surround with try catch block. Do that. No problem. Okay, just do that. Just surround with try catch block as requested. That's it, guys. This will take care of the stuff. Okay, this will take care of the things. Okay. Now let's see. I reduce the lines of code. I separated the screenshot code into the utilities class. I'm calling from there, and have written this auto launching of the extend reports by using this statement. So this three, after these three changes, it should work fine. I'll delete this test output folder, so it will be created again anyhow. Okay, when I run. So what I'll do is I'll close all the stuff and I'll simply run testng.xml file, run as testng suite. Okay, let's see what will happen. The script should run and the report should be automatically opened, guys. I'm not going to touch the report this time. Okay. The screenshot should be taken, embedded, and also the report should be automatically opened. Okay, that's important. The last thing is the report should be automatically opened. So which test is running currently? I think the register test, third register test. I think one more register test is there. Let's see. Fourth register test will come now into place. Done. Now login test will start, I guess. Let's start with the login test. First login test is completed. second login test, third login test, fourth. I mean, one data-driven test is also there. So let's see, this may be the last login test. Now search test will run. Yeah, second test will fail in the search and third test should get skipped. You see the report this time I didn't launch. It got automatically launched, right? It got automatically launched. And we can see all the logs coming up in the, okay. The tests are created here in the report and they're marked as passed. The logs are coming and you can see the screenshot is embedded. It's working fine. Okay, we are getting everything, whatever we have to get. Okay, that means everything here is working fine. Till here, we are able to succeed. Okay, now the thing is, till now, I am running this testng.xml file run as testng. So testng, using testng, I am running the scripts. What if, you see, to go to the next level, have to run this test. Okay, I have to run this test with the help of Maven. Okay, I have to run this test with the help of Maven, guys. Okay, so what I will do is, first I'll right click on this project. Okay, so this is what I'm going to demonstrate now. Extent reports part is over, guys. Now Maven part is coming. Every time I'll delete this folder, guys, before I run anything, I'll just delete this. I'll refresh the project and delete this test output folder. So I want to see whether it is getting created every time or not. I'll delete this screenshot which is created. So everything is fresh now. I want to run this project with the help of Maven now. Okay, I want to run the test with the help of Maven and we are going to face some hurdles, guys. We are going to resolve them one by one. Okay, when we have to run the scripts using Maven instead of TestNG, I want to run using Maven because in continuous integration, we need to run the scripts using Maven. Then we can go for continuous integration like Jenkins. Using Jenkins, we can run the scripts and all the stuff. Okay, before going to Jenkins and other stuff, okay, we have to make sure we are able to run with Maven. And in Jenkins, we'll use Maven commands to run the scripts. Okay, that's the reason we have to run the scripts using Maven. So we should not completely rely right click and run as using TestNG. Okay, so Maven actually, how the Maven will run the scripts? Maven will look for this pom.xml file. Okay, it will not look for testng.xml file. Maven will look for this pom.xml file and run the scripts. Okay, and will run the scripts. So right click on the project, guys. Okay, when you want to run the scripts using Maven, right click on the project and select run as and select this Maven test option. Okay, there is an option coming in the run as, that is Maven test. In Eclipse ID, Maven options will come by default. Okay, you don't have to install any plugin or something. Maven will come by default in the Eclipse ID. Okay, so you can see just install new software because Maven project you created, right? You don't have to install any plugin to create a Maven project. Okay, the same thing here. Just click on already installed. And I didn't install any plugin, guys. Okay, but if I search for Maven, I'm getting all this stuff from Maven. This came by default. Okay, when I installed Eclipse ID, Maven is already there. Okay, so I'm able to create the Maven project and all those stuff. Okay, so these options are also coming because of that in Eclipse ID, guys. I don't have to install any plugin for getting these options. Right click on the project and say run as and say select Maven test. You see it will start. Let's see. You may guess that this test will run, but it will not run. Okay, none of this test will run. We may get some problems, guys. We are going to resolve problems one by one. Okay, we are going to resolve the problems one by one. Let's see what will happen. You see, build failure happened. So what is the problem for this build failure? Failed to execute goal. Maven plugins, Maven compiler plugin, test compile on project, tutorials in your project, fatal error compiling, Java language illegal access error, com class Lombok, Java C apt Lombok processor in unnamed module cannot access so and so, so and so, so and so. Yeah, because does not export. All these things are, this kind of thing is coming. If you get this kind of error, you should focus on a keyword known as Lombok. Okay, if you see this Lombok in as an error when you are running the test using Maven, okay, this project is when you are running using Maven, if you are getting some error with these details of Lombok, copy this Lombok from here, go to MVN repository in your browser and search for that same Lombok and search. And you'll get this project Lombok or project Lombok. Click on this and take the latest version 1.18 point something, that is 24 as per this data in here when I'm recording this video. In your case, if you get any other latest version, you can go with that, no problem. Copy this and go to the pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file, you just add the dependency at the end. Okay, here, just add the dependencies between the dependencies tag and click on save. Save all. This Lombok dependency I'm adding to the project. Now close this. Now right click again on the project after adding the Lombok libraries and say run as Maven test. Let's see what will happen this time. Will you get the same Lombok error or you get some other thing? Let's see. Earlier we got build failure. Now let's see what will happen. This time you see surprisingly you got build success, but none of the automation scripts in this login register search got executed. Right? None of the automation scripts in this login search register classes got executed. 0 tests got run. 0 tests got executed. Total time. Build success it is saying there's no Lombok error this time. It's not build failure. No errors are coming. So what may be the problem? You see, to run the automation test using Maven from Eclipse IDE, there are few rules. One is Lombok libraries, we already had it. And second thing is go to the pom.xml file, guys. In the pom.xml file, you should have this Maven Shortfire plugin. Okay, we should have this Maven Shortfire plugin. Since we have created this Maven project with a template or archetype, we generally call it as the project template, that is Maven archetype quick start. Okay, Maven archetype quick start template we have used from Apache, right? Because of that, pom.xml file is auto-generated with a lot of stuff by default. As part of that auto generation, we also got this build plugin management. All these plugins we got by default. All these plugins we got by default because we created the Maven project with help of by selecting a template, that is Maven archetype quick start plugin, a quick start archetype from Apache. Okay, so I have not added this Maven Surefire plugin, but it came by default because I created the project with that selected template. Okay, in the beginning of the project. So if this is not there, you cannot run your automation scripts using Maven, but this is there. This Maven Surefire plugin is there. Still, there is a problem, right? Now we have the Lombok. Now we have this plugin also in this pom.xml file. Second case is also good. Now, one more thing is that last criteria for running your automation tests is here, your classes having the automation tests should have a keyword known as test. Somewhere in this class name, we should have the keyword known as test. I prefer giving the test at the end of the class name. So I'll right click on this login.java and say refactor here and say rename and add a keyword known as test. Then only Maven will run this test. Click on finish, right click, refactor, rename, just say test, click on finish. Just add this keyword test to the test class names. That will be good. Click on finish. Now we have login test, register test, and such test. Okay. I'll refresh this project before running this. You see there's no test output folder and there are no screenshots taken now. Now I'll run this code, guys. I'll run this code. I'll run this project after changing this to login test, register test, and such test. I'll run this. Right click, run as Maven test. This time, let's see whether the test will run. Okay. All the classes in this project which are having the keyword test will run, guys. Okay. That means the test inside this login test will run, register test will run, such test will run this time. Using Maven, we are directly going to the classes and executing their tests. Okay, we are not using testng.xml file. Here Maven is referring to pom.xml file and it's identifying the tests which have this keyword test in their classes. Okay, here testng.xml file is out of picture for us. We are not using testng.xml file, rather we are using Maven and we are instructing Maven to run all the classes which have the test keyword. Okay, that's how Maven, that's one of the category of Maven, guys. The classes which are ending with test only will run. You see, all the tests will run, guys. Okay, but there's a problem with this approach. The classes will run using Maven, but the report will not be generated. The screenshot will not be taken because there's no attachment to the listeners concept here. In TestNG.xml file, we have provided the listener tags, if you remember. But here we are directly running the classes and their tests using Maven. Maven pom.xml file. Pom.xml file is running all the classes which are ending with the test or having the keyword test, right? So nowhere the listeners are connected here. Nowhere the listeners related stuff is connected here. So the report will not be generated, guys. Extent report will not be generated under the test output folder, and also the screenshots will not be taken because those are part of the listeners. So we are almost came to the last. Okay. So last but one such test and final test will skip. You see here, it clearly says that out of 14 tests, one got failed, 12 got one got skipped, and remaining all 12 got passed. Okay, indirectly. So now let's refresh this project. You see, under the screenshot, there is no screenshot taken, and also there is no test output folder. Just refresh here. There's no test output folder coming. So we cannot get the extent report. That's the problem. Another challenge we are facing now, though we are able to run the tests, okay, which are inside the classes having the test keyword using Maven by right click run as Maven test here. The Maven is invoking the pom.xml file and pom.xml file is invoking the classes which have the individual tests having test keyword. Okay, here it is not running the testng.xml file, but testng.xml file has a connection to the listeners. So no listeners means no screenshots and no listeners means no screenshots and no extent report. That's a problem. How to overcome this problem? To overcome this problem, we have to make this Maven to invoke this pom.xml file, and pom.xml file, instead of invoking this classes having the test keyword, it should invoke the testng.xml file. Okay, pom.xml file should not invoke these classes for running. Instead, pom.xml file should refer to this testng.xml file, should invoke the testng.xml file, and testng.xml file should run these classes. That's the point. How to do that? How to do that? For doing that, guys, okay, for doing that, we have to go inside the pom.xml file, and here, just go to that plugin I mentioned, Maven Surefire plugin. Maven Surefire plugin. Let's go to that Maven Surefire plugin. This is a plugin, guys. This is a plugin. I should not be having this default plugin code. Rather, I have to Google search for that. I'll search for Surefire Maven. I'll write Maven Surefire TestNG like this. I'll search for like this. Okay, Maven Surefire TestNG. Then Maven Surefire plugin using TestNG. I'll get this link. Click on that link. Scroll down, guys. Scroll down, scroll down. Here you see something. Maven Surefire is there. We are referring to a testng.xml file. Some XML testng.xml file here. This plugin, from plugin to plugin, you copy and go to your this part pom.xml file and replace this Maven Surefire plugin with whatever you copy pasted just now from the website. Okay, organize it well so that it looks good. This looks good, fine. So now, guys, we are mentioning the Maven Surefire plugin. Maven actually referred to the pom.xml file. This is actually Maven Surefire plugin actually is there in the pom.xml file only. When you run using Maven, Maven will refer to the pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file, we are clearly mentioning the Maven Surefire plugin to refer to the testng.xml file while running the tests. Don't run the test directly. Rather, use testng.xml file to run the tests. That's what we are saying, right? But there is a problem in this. What is the problem? This testng.xml file is not directly under the project. This testng.xml file is under SRC test resources here. Okay, under the project, under SRC test resources, we have testng.xml file. So here, instead of providing testng.xml file, we have to give src/test/ under the project, under SRC, under test, under resources. We have this testng. So we have to give this kind of thing. Okay, if this testng.xml file is not created under the resources folder and directly created under the project just below this pom.xml file, then you can simply give testng.xml file. But if it is if the testng.xml file is under the src test resource, we have to give path like this. Okay, now save this, guys. Now run. This time, when you run this project with the help of Maven test here, if you are selecting Maven test, Maven will invoke pom.xml file. pom.xml file will invoke this Maven shortfall plugin to run the test. Maven shortfall plugin will invoke this testing.xml file, which is under the SRC test resources, and testing.xml file has to run all these tests. Okay, that should happen now. Let's see whether it will happen or not. It will not happen, guys. I'll tell you a reason. Okay, there's a problem. When I right click run as Maven test, you see none of the tests will be running. We are doing the things right only, but still the things will not run. Just see, you will get a problem. You see, you got this kind of problem. What is the problem? It will say that, you just see the problem, guys. You'll understand what's the problem. Okay. There was an error in the forecode process. Cannot find the class in class path. com.tutorials ninja QA test cases register class is not there. If you see here, it's not any more register class. It is a registered test. So what's the problem here? You should get this idea now. Okay, you're referring to a class known as register, but here register test is there. So if you go to this testing.xml file, still the names are register only, but the class names have been changed to register test. So change the names here, then only it's going to work. Register test, login test, search test. Now click on save all. Now close this, right click. Now do this, guys. This time it should work. When you say right click on the project and run as Maven test, that will invoke pom.xml file. Pom.xml file will invoke the Maven shortfall plugin. Maven shortfall plugin will invoke that the testing.xml file that is referred here. Okay, and testing.xml file, which is referring to these three classes, will run the tests. This time the test should run. This is all important, guys. This is all important. Okay, this is very important topic. In real time, this is what happens. Okay, we have to run using Maven, not using TestNG. Maven has to invoke the pom.xml file. Pom.xml file has to invoke the Maven shortfall plugin. Maven shortfall plugin has to invoke the TestNG XML file. TestNG XML file has to invoke the classes. Classes have to invoke the tests. This is the process. Okay, this is the process, guys. We have to know this hierarchy. Okay, you see the tests are running now, and also you'll get the reports, screenshots, everything will come now. Because in testing.xml file, listener tags are there. The listeners will get the external report and screenshots for us. So everything is going to work fine. There's still more, guys. Okay, it's not the end of the Maven if it is working fine. There's something more I have to explain about Maven, guys. Okay, I'll explain. For now, we are running this test from the Eclipse IDE. So once this tests are done, once the reports are generated and all, I'll show you how to run the scripts without this Eclipse IDE. We just need the project in our machine. We don't need Eclipse IDE, guys. Okay. We'll go to the project location and using the command prompt, we have to run the Maven tests. Okay. Using Maven, we have to run, but using the command prompt. Without the help of Eclipse IDE, without having the Eclipse IDE, we should be able to run using Maven. How to do that? I'm going to show you next. Okay. That's what is next, guys. Okay. That's what is coming next. That is also very important. You see, the report is automatically generated, and you see screenshots are coming embedded and all those stuff. Everything is working fine. Okay. So we came to a very good place where we have run from Eclipse IDE. We have run the testng.xml file using Maven now. By modifying the Maven shortfall plugin, we provided the path to the testng.xml file, and then Maven was invoking the pom.xml file. Pom.xml file was invoking the Maven shortfall plugin. Maven shortfall plugin is invoking the testng.xml file under SRC test resources folder, and that testng.xml file is invoking the classes that are mentioned in the testng.xml file, and those classes are running their tests, individual tests. Okay, whatever that are there, the tests that are there in the classes are running. Okay, and we got the extent report, screenshots, everything is working fine now. But now my requirement is, I don't want to use this Eclipse IDE. I don't want to use this Eclipse IDE. I'll delete this test output folder again. Refresh this project, guys. Refresh this project once, and you'll get the test output folder. Delete this test output folder. I want to do it brand new, and delete the screenshot also. Okay, just to cross check everything is working fine. Okay, what I want to do here is, I don't want to use Eclipse IDE. With Eclipse IDE, I can right click on the project and say run as, and I'm getting Maven options here, Maven test and all. But I don't want Eclipse IDE. What I will do is, I'll close Eclipse IDE. Before closing the Eclipse IDE, I'll go to the project location in my machine. I'll select properties and go to the location of this project in my machine. This is the location of this project in my machine, guys. Tutorials in your project. Go inside this project, guys, and here if you can see this pom.xml file, we are good. Now close Eclipse IDE, guys. There is no need of Eclipse IDE now anymore. I'll close Eclipse IDE. Without any Eclipse IDE, I want to run this project. This is still the automation code, right? This is still the automation code. So it's the same. Using Maven, I want to run this pom.xml file, but this time from command prompt. So what I will do is I'll select this. I'll type CMD, guys. I'll type CMD. You are not going to get the solution directly. Okay. Here there is a command known as MVN test. Okay. One more thing is when you select this and type CMD here, the command prompt will open at this location where this pom.xml file is available. You see, C, QAFox drive, Hybrid TestNG Framework, workspace. Under that project is Tutorials Ninja project. Okay, under the project is Tutorials Ninja project, guys. So at this project location, we have the pom.xml file. So if you select this path and type CMD and press enter, right, you will get the command prompt and directly opening this path, guys. Okay, that is a shortcut way of opening the command. You don't have to say, you don't have to go to C drive and say CD QFox, CD Hybrid TestNG Framework, CD Tutorials Ninja project. You don't have to do that. Simply directly give MVN test command. One of the command that we have to use is Maven. MVN means short form for Maven. Okay, MVN test. This is the command. Okay, we should not type Maven test. Okay, we have to say MVN test. Okay, the commands from the commands. When you press enter, guys, this will invoke the pom.xml file. Pom.xml file will internally contain that Maven Surefire plugin. In that Maven Surefire plugin, we have provided the part to the testng.xml file, which is under the SRC test resources. That testng.xml file will invoke the classes which are mentioned in the testng.xml file, and that classes will contain the test methods which will be running. That should be the process. But when I press enter, it will not happen. It will not invoke. It is instead saying MVN is not recognized as an internal or external command. That means MVN has to be, that is MVN means Maven. Maven need to be installed, guys. For this MVN command to be recognized, you have to install Maven in your machine, and also you have to configure Maven in your machine. That's what is required. How to install? I'll close this command prompt as it is not working fine. So how to download and install Maven? Further, guys, just say download Maven. Okay, just Google search for download Maven. You'll get this download Apache Maven link. Go to this page, guys, download page of the official website of Maven, that is maven.apache.org. Scroll down. Here, somewhere you will find the zip file. Okay, binary zip archive file. Apache Maven 3.8.6 bin zip is there. Okay, click on the zip file. Okay, let the zip file download. Okay, this is the process to download the Maven, guys. Okay, we have to download the zip file from the download page of the Maven website. Once the zip file is downloaded, we'll extract the zip file and we'll get a folder, guys. That folder we have to copy to some location in our machine. I'll tell you. Once the zip file is downloaded, I'll show you guys. Okay. So let's wait for now. Let's wait for the zip file to completely download in my browser. It will not take much time, but let's see. Okay, it got downloaded, guys. Finally, I'll show in folder. I'll go to the downloads folder mostly. I'll extract this folder, guys. Zip file. I'll extract the zip file. Extract all. Click on extract, and you'll get the zip file extracted. This is Maven zip file, guys. We should extract that. Downloading is done. Now we have to configure the Maven. Okay. After download, we have to configure the Maven. So the zip file got extracted, and we got this folder. Inside this folder, if you see the bin folder, that folder you have to copy. You should not copy this outer folder after extracting. Go inside the folder and you'll find one more folder with the same name. And in that folder, you will find the bin folder. Okay. So the folder having the bin folder, you copy and go to some location in your, I generally prefer C drive, guys. Okay. Generally go to C drive and paste it. Okay. So this is the one, guys. Okay. Here I pasted. That's okay. Now go inside this folder, guys, where you can see this bin folder and all. Copy this path where the bin folder is visible. And now type edit. If you have configured Java, you have to do the same thing for Maven. Edit the system environment variables option. And you'll get this dialog. And where environment variables, and go to the system variables and click on new and write down Maven underscore home and paste the path here. Click on OK and say OK. Say OK. That's it. Next point is go inside the bin folder of this Apache Maven. Now till the bin folder path, copy. Again, type edit system environment variables. Now again, go to this advanced tab, environment variables and system variables. You will find some existing predefined existing system variable known as path. Just click on that edit and here new and paste it. Okay, till bin folder you have to paste it. Say okay, okay. Okay, that's it, done. Now go to the location where you have this project available. Okay, I'm not having Eclipse ID launched. This project location we already went where pom.xml file is visible. Now type cmd here in the command prompt and you will get the command prompt open at this project location where the pom.xml file is available. Now type mv and after downloading the Maven and configuring that Maven in this system environment variables and all. Now type this command mv and test. Let's see what will happen. After downloading and configuring, it should work now. You see, it's working now, right? Now Maven is invoking the pom.xml file from the command prompt, and pom.xml file is invoking the Maven Surefire plugin. Maven Surefire plugin is invoking the testng.xml file, which is mentioned in the pom.xml file, and testng.xml file will invoke the test classes which are mentioned in the testng.xml file. Inside the test classes, we have the tests which are running currently. Okay, this thing is very important, guys. These connections are very important. Okay. Now, once you get this from the command prompt, it's very easy from Jenkins. Okay. Next, in the next session, I'll show you how to do the same thing with Jenkins. Okay. How to run this test from Jenkins. From command prompt, we are successful. Till command prompt, we are successful. We are able to run the test. The report will be generated automatically. The report will open in this case also. You don't need Eclipse ID. Without Eclipse ID, I'm running from the command prompt case using Maven. Now the same Maven command you are going to provide in Jenkins and Jenkins is going to run. So what is Jenkins and how it runs and all those stuff I'll cover later. Okay. I'll cover that later in the next session or upcoming sessions. I'll cover that. Okay. For now, this is the thing. Okay. We'll take it to the next level anyhow, guys. Okay. I'll show you with Jenkins and all. Okay. That is running almost at the end. Okay, last but one done. You should get a report. You see, report is also automatically generated from the command prompt. Everything is happening. Screenshots got embedded and everything is working fine. So this is the power of Maven, guys. Okay, from command prompt also we can run our automation scripts with the help of Maven. Now with this capability of running the rest from the command prompt and getting the same results and report and all those stuff. Now the same command that we are running from the command prompt, we have to run from Jenkins, which I'm going to show you next. Okay, which I'm going to show you next, guys. Okay, so fine. But for this session, guys, this much is enough. Okay, I've downloaded Maven and configured Maven. I have show you how to run the test from the command prompt. So this for this session, guys. I covered a lot in this session, and which covers a lot of important things about Maven. Okay, which is very important. In the next session, we'll see the Jenkins also. Okay, so we'll go to the next level like Jenkins and Git, GitHub, all the CI/CD things. We'll go next. Okay, fine. So guys, so that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.